On baseball's biggest stage, they showed the world with their bats and with their arms what Houston strong really means. Win or lose, the Astros knew they could never lose their place in our hearts. Even when the odds were stacked against them and they were down to their last outs, this team, just like this city, refused to give up. Because victory is never assured, but neither is defeat. What is assured is if you pitch a little harder, run a little faster, stretch a little further, cheer a little louder, and if you believe a little deeper, you just might earn history.
Harvey brought Houston to its knees. We were a city in survival mode. 5 days after the storm, the rain stopped, the sun appeared. And then, on September 2nd,
a few days ago, people counted the city of Houston out. Well, no better symbol than the Astros. That's why we are playing ball today. So let's play ball.
And that's driven to deep left field.
Our Astros returned to Minute Maid Park, and play ball they did. As Houstonians battled to recover from the storm, the team marched into the playoffs, first beating the Red Sox.
Another 3-2. That's hard hit to second. The Astros are moving on to the American League Championship Series.
Next up, the Yankees. Suddenly, people rebuilding and starting over had something else on their minds, a World Series title.
We're playing for something more than ourselves, you know. There's thousands of people that lost everything. There's thousands of people that, you know, had anything but a plastic bag on their shoulder, and they came to support us.
It shows the unity of one city. Of coming through a very tragic situation that city has gone through. It's devastating.
I hope we're representing the city well, and our fan base, and even non-fans that are in our community, that we can be something positive for the city.
The Astros had lifted the spirits of a battered city. But down 3-2 against the Yankees, our team needed a lift from us, and they got it.
Bird into center. Springer says he's got it. The Houston Astros win the pennant.
For only the second time in team history, the Astros were headed to a World Series. Like a script out of Hollywood, the Dodgers and Astros fought 7 hard games. And then sometimes, the sweetest rewards come at just the right time.
Harvey gave us such a 1-2 punch that we needed something else to focus on.
We needed a pick-me-up. We needed some good news.
We knew it and felt it, and the city was behind this team, and they knew it.
We're just happy for the city. It gives something to get his arm around. The city was in bad shape, still a lot of work to do there. And I'm just happy for the fans and the city and the region.
They needed this. They needed to be able to rally around something. And we're just so happy and so proud that we could be those people, that inspiration for them.
It's more than a game. It's about life. It's about family. It's about celebration.
When the city needed a pickup, when the city needed someone to elevate us to another level, the Houston Astros stepped in.
It's hard to believe that we've gone from the depths of the ocean to the highest mountain we could ever think of.
And the Houston Astros have claimed that city's first ever World Series championship.
Where else is there to be today?
We're way overdue. We're proud of them.
Houston, we don't have a problem. We got a championship.
World Series, baby. Because we literally love the Astros.
Our players,
our team, the hometown. Everybody's rooting for Houston.
Hey, Houston, we did it.
I just want to thank every single person here, every person in the city, every person in the state of Texas that believed in our team.
It's been a tough couple months. It really has given our family and our community a chance to have something positive to look forward to.
Did you guys ever step up today for our team, and our team stepped up for you in this city?
Let's go!
We weren't playing for you guys. We were all playing together. We won this World Series together.
We've been through a lot, and just brings us all together.
The city of Houston has been waiting a really long time for something like this.
And it's about time we brought something home for the great city of Houston.
It's meant so much to the city and to the people of the city, and for the Astros to pull through this whole series, it's been phenomenal.
This is just amazing. So thank you, Astros.
Thank you for these fans. Thank you for how you show up at the ballpark every day and bring it. Thank you for how much you love each other. And thank you for making Houston a championship city.
After the dust settled and the championship trophy is raised in the air, we went straight to the writer who got it right back in 2014.
You and Sports Illustrated called this.
It feels good. It certainly does. All credit go to the front office and the players of this incredible.
Ben Ryder from Sports Illustrated projecting the lowly Astros someday becoming the best team in baseball can now only be described as amazing.
Here's the most amazing thing about it. They told the world exactly what they were going to do, and now they've done it.
3 years ago, he saw firsthand how the Astros were mixing new age thinking with a dash of old school scouting. He and his editors then decided 2017 would be the year, and George Springer on the cover.
Everybody hated this cover when it came out. They thought They hated it. They hated it. They thought we were looking for clickbait. They thought we were just making some hot take. I'll tell you, there was a lot of consideration that went into that, as well as a 5,000-word article explaining why.
You break the Sports Illustrated cover jinx. You were the cover boy 3 years ago, MVP, and you win the World Series, buddy.
Yeah, this is just incredible.
And just as incredible, George Springer is now on another Sports Illustrated cover.
Obviously, 2017 is a big year. This team was built and went through all those terrible years, not just have one good year, but many of them.
And Ben, he's also predicting another title for these Astros next season, 2018.
This team's going to be in it for a long time.
Which is great news for Houston. After all, when was the last time Ben Ryder was wrong?
Perseverance. Perseverance is defined as steady persistence in a course of action, a purpose, a state, especially in spite of difficulties, obstacles, or discouragement.
Everybody's a kid from somewhere, and this is a dream for everyone. I just want to thank anybody that's ever helped me to get here.
Here come the Astros, burning with desire. Here come the Astros, breathing orange fire. Here come the Astros, with winning on their mind. Here come the Astros, #1 every time. Go, go, Astros. Go, go, Astros. Go, Astros.
There were no Colt 45s, no Astros up until 1960. Only the Houston Buffaloes, a minor league affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals, the likes of Dizzy and Daffy Dean once competing at 8,000-seat Buff Stadium that's right near modern-day University of Houston. But Judge Roy Hoffhines changed things. After attending the owners' meeting in 1960, Houston was awarded a National League expansion team, what you may know as the Colt 45s. Quickly, they became one of the more colorful franchises in all of baseball. Ushers at Colt Stadium were known as the Triggerettes, parking lots designated as Wyatt Earp territory, the Stadium Club, a Gunsmoke-themed saloon replica dubbed the Fast Draw Club. Finally, professional baseball had arrived in Houston. But as the Colt 45s began, attention turned to a futuristic stadium. In 1962, ground was broken on the Harris County Dome Stadium. In 1964, Judge Hoffhines announced the Colt 45s would become the Astros, and the first of its kind stadium would be named the Astrodome, keeping in line with the city's burgeoning space program and its reputation as Space City. In 1965, the Astrodome opened for the first time, Hoffhines equipping the dome with luxurious skyboxes, a brightly colored seating bulb, and a scoreboard for the ages. But what about the team itself? In the first 3 seasons, the club won 196 games and lost 288. The team didn't make the playoffs until 1980. The 1970s marked mostly by a trade that sent Joe Morgan to the Reds, a trade some feel propelled the Reds to 2 World Series titles and one that doomed the Stros in the decade. 1980 saw the Astros get to the playoffs for the very first time. They won their first National League West title after defeating, ironically, the Los Angeles Dodgers in a 1-game playoff in the 163rd game of the regular season. In 1981, Nolan Ryan threw the 5th of his 7 no-hitters as a member of the Astros. In 1983, Ryan surpassed Walter Johnson as the all-time strikeout king. In 1986, the Stros made the playoffs again and lost to the Mets in the National League Championship Series. But that season forever will be remembered by Mike Scott's no-hitter to clinch the National League West, the first in Major League history to be thrown in this situation. Scott won the Cy Young Award that year. The 1990s saw several Astros playoff appearances, a team led throughout the decade by Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio, who earned the nickname the Killer Bees. But the team could never break through, and the 90s ended with a more significant end, the closing of the Astrodome. That was followed by a move to their new downtown ballpark, originally named Enron Field. A name change would follow to Minute Maid Park, along with the team's first ever trip to the World Series in 2005, a sweep at the hands of the Chicago White Sox. In 2007, franchise favorite Craig Biggio joined the 3,000 hit club. A slew of really bad seasons started in 2011, including 3 straight years where they lost 100 games. The team shifted leagues, and finally, 55 years after the franchise debuted, they broke through, bringing the World Series trophy to a town when it needed it the most.
World Series champion! I tell you what, I have been doing this a long time, but this was one of the greatest postseasons when you think about all it took to get this done for the Astros.
And these Astros are world champs.
Finally is defined as after a long time, typically when there has been a difficulty or long delay.
This is the Insperity Club at Minute Maid Park, but not too long ago, it was the stadium's press box. And for yours truly, it was where a journalism career began. You see, back then, I would come to games with my grandfather, and we would write for a small Spanish newspaper called La Información. That newspaper is still around, and there are so many Latin players on the team that I thought I'd go back to my roots a little bit. From here on out, este reportaje va a ser solamente en español.
Astros! ¡Ra, ra, ra!
Hay una razón por la que llaman a esto la Serie Mundial.
De verdad que es algo único, es algo que tú sueñas de que eres pequeño y lo logras.
Solo le tienes que preguntar al receptor del bullpen de los Astros, Carlos Muñoz, quien ha visto de primera mano de qué se trata este equipo. ¿Cómo puedes describir el equipo este?
Esto es como una familia ya. Hermanos pequeños, tíos, o sea, así nos sentimos.
Estos Astros juegan con pasión.
Viene Juli, primer lanzamiento, le tiró, palo profundo por el left, se va. ¡Viva Cuba! ¡Viva Cuba!
Con amor por una ciudad.
Y ahí viene otro trueno, Correa bateando profundo entre dos, el back to back, la va a sacar el boricua, se va.
Que llevan con orgullo en su pecho.
Estoy muy orgulloso de cada uno de nosotros aquí.
Eso es lo que significa la camisa, todos los 25 peloteros que estamos aquí.
Y tengo 65 años y es mi primera vez. Fabuloso.
El 27% de los jugadores en las grandes ligas provienen de Latinoamérica. En la lista de los playoffs de los Astros hay 8.
Hemos salido obviamente de familias humildes y pobres y pues llegar hasta aquí este momento, de verdad que no podemos perder el foco de donde vinimos, pero a la misma vez tenemos que disfrutar de este momento.
Correa, Altuve y González no son de aquí, pero...
¿Cuáles son las emociones para ti jugar un juego como ese?
Un sueño hecho realidad desde niño, cuando juegas al frente de tu casa con tus amigos y simula estar en una serie mundial. Eso es lo que estamos viviendo ahora mismo cada uno de nosotros.
Y después de lo que sucedió...
Fue un momento bastante difícil para la ciudad. Eso es una de las cosas que nos ha motivado bastante.
No querrían estar en ningún otro lado.
Y el pueblo de Houston están atrás de ti, están atrás de ustedes.
De verdad que sí, el pueblo de Houston lo que nos ha dado es un cariño inmenso, de verdad que es mi segunda casa y cada vez que saco el terreno también lo hago por ello.
Tiene la bola Altuve, tira primera y se acabó el juego. Los Astros de Houston son campeones de la Serie Mundial 2017.
The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history.
Dried tears, empty champagne bottles, remnants of the most memorable season in Astros history. The elation of winning a World Series now morphs into a different yet equally satisfying feeling: pride. Houston carries plenty of it. Through despair and resilience,
Anybody in there, we are here to rescue and help.
through heartbreak.
I have a second life.
And strength. Those long August days
And it just past midnight.
turned into long October nights.
2 on, 2 out. 10th inning. That's in the air to left. Here comes Fisher.
And a city watched, captivated at the ballpark and parked at the bar, in a safe space at home and aboard the International Space Station 240 miles above.
Thanks for being Houston strong. Stay Astros strong.
The Johnson Space Center is 25 miles from Minute Maid Park. About the same distance of a George Springer home run. The Space Center is home to Houston's other team of Astros.
The Astros, how can you be proud of a team that's named after what you're doing, trying to go in and explore space?
Senior robotics engineer Lucian Junkin is not alone. That pride runs throughout the center's 3,000 plus employees, from robotics engineer Justin Ridley to the center's director Ellen Ochoa, the first Hispanic woman to go to space.
It is different. It is different when it's named after what you do.
A big part of our city is the Space Center down here, so it's nice to have a symbol to kind of represent that.
You know, our baseball team changed its name and became the Astros, and so that's an even closer tie to this particular team than to our other teams as well.
Hero in Houston.
All of these years later, there's still a strong tie between Houston, manned space flight, NASA, and the Astros. It's very cool.
NASA has 4 core values to mission success. The most powerful one, according to NASA's handbook, is teamwork.
Shot into left center field. Back at the wall. It's gone.
And Houston carries plenty of it. Through the most challenging moments, on the backs of hope and faith, this city doesn't quit, because the strong always prevail.
Teamwork. Teamwork is defined as cooperative or coordinated effort on the part of a group of persons acting together as a team or in the interest of a common cause.
Everyone came through, man. Throughout this whole season, we don't get where we are without every single person on this team. You know, we're all part of this, and we're not here without every single one of the guys who's contributed.
I've been watching World Series since Trigger was a colt, and this is about the best World Series I can remember. And it's just not myself, but sports writers are saying it's one of the best of all time. Just to thrill a minute, I bite my fingernails down to practically the raw place and eat more bags of Fritos and consume more Diet Dr. Pepper and occasionally adult beverage than I should. But a tip of the old Stetson to both the Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. What a World Series.
He wears 90, but there's another number which fits superfan Don Marley to a T, as you're about to find out.
Do you remember the wins or the losses more?
I've seen so many that there's just no particular game I can remember. Of course, I'm 93 now.
Yes, Don is 93, so this season ticket holder and the Astros go way back to the early 70s.
Yeah.
It's so far, the team allowed us to come to the ballpark early and chat with him before the season started.
I always like to get here early on dollar hot dog nights.
When not sitting here, or the other seats he's had, Don's been to spring training, golf tournaments, and once even threw out a first pitch to his favorite player, Craig Biggio.
When he was a catcher.
And for his 90th birthday, the Astros gave him that number 90 jersey. But Don Marley could also wear number 1. After all, he may be the oldest season ticket holder the Astros have. Don's intention was always to make every single game, and he still feels that way.
He still drives. Is that right?
Yes, I hate for Houston to find that out. Yes, he does.
You can imagine then how difficult it was for Don to be away from the ballpark. A month after meeting him, he had a mini stroke. Thankfully, though, this number 1 season ticket holder was able to see the Astros become number 1. Don attending Game 4 of the World Series with family. And while that game was a loss, just being there was a win.
What will it mean to you for the Astros to win a World Series?
It'll be the greatest thing we've ever had. I've loved this game all my life, and I want to stay with it.
History. History is defined as acts, ideas, or events that will or can shape the course of the future. Immediate but significant happenings.
This trophy is for everybody in Houston, everybody that has supported this club since 1962, for Terry Poole and Jose Cruz and Mike Scott, Bagwell, Biggio, Bob Ashpermani, Nolan Ryan, J.R. Richard, Bob Nepper, everybody that has ever put on an Astros uniform.
So the Astros have won the World Series.
Houston, we have a championship team, and no one can take that away from us.
That was pretty fun, right? But in this world we live in, we're always wondering what's next. So for these guys, where do they go from here? First things first.
Hey guys, we're in Disney World!
World Series champions 2017. That's what I'm talking about.
The next landmark to visit? Well, all champions go to the White House. That is everyone but the Golden State Warriors, which is why this is even an issue.
We're not going to allow anything to polarize this moment that we want to celebrate with our fans.
The White House stands for a lot, and I would be crazy not to want to go and see that firsthand.
And then some much-needed R&R. Just ask Lance McCullers Jr.
Everyone keeps asking me, like, are you gonna go on a trip or, whatever? And I'm like, look, man, I'm probably gonna be in the house a lot.
But while all this is going on, the front office already building the 2018 version.
Fortunately, there are very few times when you win a World Series and almost your entire team is coming back. We may not make as many transactions this year as we made last year because we've got a lot of guys coming back, but we'll address whatever upgrades we think are out there. And as soon as AJ gives me that list, I'll get to work on it.
You know what? The holidays are close. That Christmas list will come pretty soon.
So how will the roster look? Well, the Astros have already picked up contract options on Jose Altuve and Marwin Gonzalez. As far as free agents go, they have 4: Carlos Beltran, Luke Gregerson, Francisco Liriano, and Cameron Maybin. The old guy in the group, Beltran, well, he's probably going to retire. Luke Gregerson, he can come back, but those details still being worked out.
We're going to have the same issue next year where we have more starters than we have positions in the rotation, and some of those guys are probably going to end up in the bullpen again. We've got a lot of our relievers coming back. We've got guys in the minors that are knocking at the door that are going to be here soon. So we'll figure out a way to piece together a pitching staff that we feel can get us through the regular season and also add to it if necessary to help us in the postseason. But
one thing is certain, you win one of these, the urge to bring home another only gets stronger.
And to watch our guys, I mean, these are the biggest smiles, the best celebrations, the best hugs you can possibly imagine on a baseball field. It's thrilling. I mean, there's nothing like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the American League champion Houston Astros.
Right-handed batter to Keuchel's first pitch is a swing and a high fly ball. Left field, it's headed for the bleachers, and it's gone on the first pitch. Altuve into right center field, should end it. Puig is there. Dodgers win game 1.
And Marwin lifts this one pretty deep to left center field. Taylor on his horse going back at the wall. That's gone! Marwin has tied it at 3. Here's a 2-1. And Springer drives one pretty deep to right center field. And that ball is gone! Springer and the Astros are back on top.
Struck him out, and the Astros win it 7-6. The Astros have their first World Series win in franchise history.
2-1. And that's ripped deep to left field, and you can kiss that one goodbye. And it's 1-0 Astros. Breaking ball, and that's hit pretty well and pretty deep to left center. Taylor is going back on the warning track. He leaps, and he can't get it. It's off the pillar. Reddick around third, and he will score.
That's into center. It is caught. Tagging coming to the plate. Gonzalez throw too late. 4-0 Astros.
Another 2-2. And Grandal hits it high in the air to right. Reddick over toward the line, waiting for it to come down. Reddick makes the catch, and that is the ball game.
3-1. High fly ball to left. 1-0 Houston. Springer goes deep.
So Bellinger lines one into left center field for a base hit. Bellinger with a double. There goes the runner, and a fly ball to right. Reddick going back. It's a 3-run home run for Jock Peterson. The Dodgers explode in the 9th. You like that? Go. And he lifts this one. Left field. Arriba. Gurriel. We're tied.
Another 3-2 and a high fly ball. Tie game. High fly ball. Goodbye. One pitch to Springer, and we're tied again.
The pitch is hit hard to left field. It's over his head. Bregman's got a chance to score. He's racing. Here comes the throw to the plate. Not in time. Astros lead. Correa pops it to left. Onto the warning track. It's gone.
Taylor ties it. 12-12.
First pitch. And Alex lines this into left center field. That's a base hit. Fisher around third and coming home. Ethier up with the baseball. The throw to the plate. Not in time. Astros win. Astros win.
Peterson hits it in the air to left. Back at the wall. It's gone. And he's made it 3-1 Dodgers in the 7th.
Jansen to Beltran. Swung on and missed strike 3. Dodgers win 3-1, and tomorrow night there will be a 7th game of the World Series.
The 3-2. And George drills this one deep to left center field. You can kiss that one goodbye. A 2-run home run for George Springer. And the Astros lead it 5-0.
Left side. What a play by Bregman. He's done it all postseason. Runner goes on a soft liner caught by Gurriel. And now the Dodgers have stranded 8.
Corey Seager, the batter, and a swing and a ground ball for Altuve out of the outfield grass. On to first, and the Houston Astros have claimed that city's first ever World Series championship.